Hey, future beachgoers. Ready for an amazing summer working in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware?
Great choice.
But hold on. Before you trade in those textbooks for swimsuits, we're going to dive into some must-know info to help you navigate the work and travel program.
Yeah, consider this your ultimate cheat sheet for a smooth and fun summer.
All right, let's get started. Rehoboth Beach has become a major spot for this program, and it's not just the beautiful beaches or tax-free shopping.
Right, it's the community. The students really create something special there each summer.
Absolutely. Speaking of community, we got to talk about All Friends. They're like a support system for students while they're in the U.S.
Exactly. Think of them as your go-to for any questions or worries you might have.
Like a friend.
Exactly. And what's really cool about the Delaware area is that All Friends works through these local representatives who know the area inside and out. They can really give you that personalized
So
advice.
you're not just a number, you've got someone in your corner. I even heard they organize some incredible trips, like the California Dreaming Tour. I've heard whispers about sunshine, iconic landmarks, a true taste of the American West.
So it's pretty amazing, right?
Definitely something to look forward to.
Absolutely. But okay, before we get carried away with California dreams, let's get back to the basics. Getting to Rehoboth Beach. You'll probably fly into a major airport either in D.C. or New York City.
Right. And those airports can be overwhelming, especially after a long flight. That's why we strongly suggest using ePoint for those airport pickups.
Mm.
They really specialize in student transportation. No stress of navigating unfamiliar public transit.
Get that peace of mind and door-to-door service. From
Oh.
D.C., it's about $90, give or take.
And from NYC.
About 110, plus, a small bank fee.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally worth it, though, considering you're landing in a new country, probably jet-lagged, and just wanting to relax.
Yeah.
Plus, it's way safer than trying to figure it out yourself, or worse, accepting rides from strangers.
Yeah.
Stick with the organized services. Trust me on this one,
Agreed. Safety always comes first.
for sure.
Okay, now once you're in Rehoboth Beach, getting around is pretty easy thanks to their public transportation.
That's good.
You've got the DART, First State Resort Transit. It's basically a bus system that covers the whole area.
Hmm.
And then there's the Jolly Trolley, which is perfect for hopping between Rehoboth and Dewey Beach.
Oh, and I have a tip for saving some cash. The DART bus has a student fare of just $1 per ride.
Nice.
Just show them your passport for proof of student status, and you're good to go.
And if you're heading to work in your uniform, the Jolly Trolley is actually free.
What?
Yeah.
You're kidding?
Nope. Just let the driver know where you're going and you ride for free.
Wow, that's a great deal.
Right.
Okay, well, speaking of work, let's talk about where you'll be staying during your summer adventure, the housing hunt.
Yeah, finding a place can be tricky since a lot of landlords in Rehoboth prefer those short-term tourist rentals,
Right, right.
which is why you'll want to remember All Friends. Those local representatives we mentioned, they can work their magic to help you find housing.
Oh, that's great. And it reminds me, respecting your lease agreement is super important. It's not just about following rules, it's about all friends, keeping those positive relationships with landlords, which makes things smoother for future work and travel students.
Right. Think of it as, building a good reputation, both for yourself and for the program.
Absolutely. Okay, let's break it down. Housing typically costs between $26.50 to $29.50 for the whole summer with a $400 deposit.
Right.
But the good news is you can get $300 of that deposit back if you leave the place in good condition.
That's right.
Most places come with all the appliances you'll need, but keep in mind you might need to budget for laundromat costs. Like, what, $7 a load?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. And just a heads up, the internet speed might not be as fast as you're used to back home.
Yeah, but hey, who needs super fast internet when you have the beach right outside, right?
That's a good point. All right, now let's talk about something super important for your work experience, that Social Security card. This little card is your key to working legally in the U.S.
Exactly.
And it's not just about working, it's about being officially in the system. You have 10 days after arriving to check in with your visa sponsor and activate your SEVIS record.
Right, and that SEVIS record basically tracks your participation in the program online. Missing that 10-day deadline can have some consequences.
Definitely. Now, to get that Social Security card, you got to head over to the nearest Social Security Administration office, which happens to be in Georgetown, Delaware. The process is pretty straightforward, but you will need a few documents.
Yep, your passport with your visa, your DS 2019 work permit, which basically gives you permission to work, your I-94 number, which you can get online after arriving in the U.S., and a printed confirmation page on the Social Security website.
Okay, so lots of paperwork.
Yeah. But it's a good idea to, fill out the online application and even try to schedule an appointment before you even arrive, just to make things go more smoothly.
Makes sense. Now, once you apply, you'll get a temporary number that lets you start working right away
Yeah.
while you wait for the actual card.
Right.
And speaking of, remember that sponsor organization we mentioned earlier? They play a vital role throughout your entire summer journey.
Yeah. They're not just there to help you settle in, they're responsible for your well-being and safety,
Right.
making sure everything goes smoothly. And according to the program rules, think of them as your, dedicated support system.
Got it. And a big part of their job is keeping track of your cultural activities for the State Department.
Yeah.
Basically, they want to make sure you're not just working, but also getting into American culture. So hold on to those ticket stubs and take lots of pictures of your adventures. You'll need them.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's get to money matters. You'll be earning those dollars, so you'll need a safe place to manage your finances.
Right. Opening a bank account is a must. Keeps your money secure, makes getting paid through direct deposit easier, and some banks even offer free checking accounts for students.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We recommend doing some research and maybe even scheduling an appointment with a bank before you even get to the U.S. Save you some time and hassle later.
Great advice.
Preparation is key.
Rehoboth Beach Essentials. Before you hit the boardwalk and those sandy shores, let's chat about some of those local rules and regulations.
Right. You know what they say, when in Rome.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, the same goes here. Every town has its own, vibe
Right.
and its own set of rules.
For sure. And one of the first things you need to remember is that the drinking age in the U.S. is 21. No exceptions.
Seriously?
You will need to have that photo ID to buy alcohol or even to enter a bar.
Yeah, it's taken very seriously here, so don't even try to, bend the rules.
Right.
And another thing, remember, no open containers in public places. Like the streets, the boardwalk, the beach, parking lots, even inside a car parked in those areas.
So if you're picturing yourself sipping a margarita as you stroll along the beach, think again.
Yeah, save that for a house party or something.
Exactly.
Once you're 21, of course.
Of course.
Speaking of the beach, it's free to enjoy all day, but there are some closing hours to keep in mind.
Right. You can soak up all that sun and sand until 1 a.m., but then the beach is closed until daybreak, which is usually about 30 minutes before sunrise.
Right, it's all about respecting the local schedule.
Yeah. And while we're talking about beach etiquette, let's talk about changing clothes. Public restrooms, the boardwalk, under the boardwalk, or your car parked on a public street are not the places to do it.
Yeah, use those designated changing rooms.
Yeah.
Let's keep things, respectful.
For sure.
Okay, another important thing. Smoking is prohibited on the beach, the boardwalk, and around the bandstand, except for those designated smoking areas.
Right. So if you're a smoker, just be mindful of where you light up. Now, let's say you want to explore Rehoboth Beach on 2 wheels. Always a fun way to get around.
Yeah. Bikes are welcome on the boardwalk from daybreak until 10 a.m. from mid-May to mid-September and anytime outside of those months. But there's a little, quirk. I don't know. Adult bike riders aren't actually allowed on the sidewalks in Rehoboth Beach itself.
Interesting. A bit of a local oddity,
Yeah.
but easy enough to remember. So where can you ride your bike without, getting into trouble? We recommend sticking to the sidewalks along Route 1, also known as Coastal Highway. Just be extra careful at those entrances and exits. Okay, let's switch gears to something super important. Safety in Rehoboth Beach.
Yeah, especially during the summer months, Rehoboth Beach gets packed with tourists and locals, so it's super important to be aware of your surroundings, especially when you're on foot.
Right. Always use the crosswalks and wait for the walk signal. Don't assume cars will stop for you. Make eye contact with drivers, especially at those busy intersections. Be extra alert even when you're in a crosswalk.
Yeah, and remember, Delaware law requires pedestrians to use sidewalks whenever they're available, so no jaywalking.
Stick to those designated paths.
Yeah.
And one last tip for our cycling friends. Always lock your bike when you're not using it.
Hmm.
Bike theft happens, even in a place like Rehoboth Beach, so better safe than sorry.
Definitely. And, you can usually find affordable bikes and safety equipment at places like, I think, Walmart for around $200.
Yeah, good to know. Okay, let's talk about something that's important everywhere, but especially in a new place, interacting with the police.
Yeah. It's important to remember you're in a different country with different laws,
Absolutely.
different cultural norms when it comes to law enforcement.
Right. What might seem like a minor thing back home could have serious consequences here, like, getting arrested, fines, even jail time. So be respectful of the local laws and authorities.
Absolutely. And speaking of things that are not tolerated, shoplifting.
Oh, yeah.
That is a serious offense that will get you in big trouble.
Right.
Don't even think about it.
Remember, police officers are there to help keep everyone safe. They're not the enemy.
Exactly.
Don't hesitate to approach them if you need assistance or see anything suspicious. Okay, let's switch to another safety topic, swimming. Rehoboth Beach has this amazing coastline, and we know you'll be itching to jump in that ocean.
Oh, yeah.
But it's crucial to remember that the ocean can be unpredictable, and safety should always come first. Even if you're a strong swimmer, always swim near a lifeguard. If you're not as confident, just stick to those shallower areas.
Yeah. The ocean floor can be uneven, so you want to be careful and aware.
Right, right. And just in case you need medical assistance, it's good to know your options.
Yeah.
For non-emergencies, you can go to the Walk-In Medical Center at Atrainair, that's in Lewis, or reach out to the Rehoboth Beach Patrol.
And always a good idea to contact your insurance company before visiting a doctor, just so you understand your coverage, any potential costs you might have to pay.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
And keep those receipts.
Yes,
You might need them for reimbursement later.
absolutely. And if you're unsure about the whole claims process, your sponsor agency can totally help you with the paperwork.
Oh, good to know. Now, in case of an emergency, don't hesitate. Call 911 or head straight to the emergency room at 424 Savannah Road in Lewes.
Yep.
And always carry your passport and insurance info with you. If for some reason you don't have them, just tell the hospital your sponsor's name. They'll help you out.
Right. And remember, if you get injured at work, tell your supervisors right away. Your employer's insurance should cover medical expenses related to accidents that happen on the job. They can help you get the care you need.
That's really important to know.
Yeah.
Totally. So there you have it, your crash course in working and traveling in Rehoboth Beach. We've covered all the essentials, airport pickups, bank accounts, safety tips, and those must-do cultural trips.
It's just a starting point, though. Every work and travel experience is unique, you know? Don't be afraid to ask questions. Step out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Explore. Make the most of this opportunity to learn and grow.
I love that. And hey, don't forget to check out All Friends when you get to Rehoboth Beach. They're a fantastic resource for everything work and travel. And who knows, maybe they'll even convince you to join them on an adventure or two.
Yeah.
Safe travels, everyone.